Hey everybody, how's it going? Chris the Alfa Nut here. It's raining outside, Sunday afternoon, and where better place to spend a rainy Sunday afternoon than your man cave? Well, I just thought I'd give you a quick update on all the stuff I've been up to, because even though I haven't put a video out for a couple of months, sorry. The bottom line is that the garage is now getting to the point where we're actually going to be able to start doing some work in it. We've got stuff sorted out, we've got things like the lift all finished, we've got a couple of other projects that we've been doing, stuff that needed to be sorted out before we could really knuckle down and start working on cars again. So, quick rundown of what's been going on. Next job was a slightly shonky beam in the middle of the workshop roof. So the easy solution to that was to replace the pretty makeshift Heath Robinson type support and replace it with a custom built steel advertising board. TotallyAlfa.com. Buy all your 916 bits from TotallyAlfa.com. I'm not getting paid for this. And of course, what man cave would be complete without a finally finished clubhouse area? So obviously we've got sofas, we've now got a TV which has Quest playing constantly, we've got the wood burner, we've got some decoration, we've got the beer fridge, and now we've also got an added decoration in the form of a mid-90s 1.8 litre 16 valve twin spark display engine, which came from the old Alfa HQ in Slough, apparently. That was a lucky find on eBay. But some more of Gary's acquisitions. 3.7 litre bored out Busso engine with all the associated bits and pieces that's awaiting reassembly. We've got 600,000 alloy wheels that are surplus to requirements. We've got some Alfa Romeo toy cars, pedal cars, which are great. Oh look, some more wheels. And the pièce de résistance, Gary's newly acquired camshaft balancing machine, which he assures me will be very, very useful and will be used a lot. Okay, so on to my exciting piece of news. Well, it's exciting for me, but you may remember that I've been talking about buying a Alfa Giulia as my next daily driver. Well, in previous videos I've test driven a Veloce, I've also test driven a Quadrifoglio. And both are great cars. They feel great, they make you feel great when you drive them. They look awesome. It was really just a question of balancing the heart versus the head decision. You know, the Veloce makes a lot more sense from a cost point of view. It's cheaper to buy, it's cheaper to run, it's cheaper to insure. But is life about just thinking about the economics, or is life about living your life? Because when you're on your deathbed, the only things you'll regret are the things that you didn't do. My BMW 530e, which I've had for 3.5 years now, which was a company car, is going to be sold because I've ordered myself a new car. Not on the company car scheme, and not something that I'm going to have to drive and decide with my head rather than my heart. Yes, folks, I've ordered myself an Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. In fact, there's a little bit of a story, because the 2022 Quadrifoglio is actually quite different to the previous models. What they've done is they've tried to rationalise the options list, and a lot of the things that were previously on the options list, which you could specify, like the convenience pack, the power seats, the keyless entry, the driver assist, all those kind of things are now in the standard specification. And that's great because you get a lot more spec for your money. However, the thing that isn't so great is that the 2022 list of options now does not have things like yellow calipers. You can't specify coloured cockpit leather panels for the dashboard and the doors. And the only coloured stitching that you can have in the car is green and white, and only if you specify the carbon Sparco bucket seats, which are £3,500 extra. So the good news is that out of pure fluke, I managed to snag a 2021 spec car that was currently being built, which had pretty much all the options that I would have spec'd myself. So this is going to be a brand new 22 plate car, but in a 2021 spec, which means that it gets some of the things that you can no longer spec, like red stitching on the black and Alcantara seats. So I don't get cockpit coloured panels, which I would have chosen, probably would have chosen red ones. As I say, it's about 95% what I would have opted for. So it's got the black alloys, it's got red calipers, it's in the fabulous Misano blue, which is a pretty rare colour for a quadrifoglio. I haven't seen many quadrifolios in that colour, and it's my favourite, frankly. So it's got the heated and power seats pack, it's got the convenience pack, it's got privacy glass, it's got, as I say, pretty much most of the stuff that I would want. Of course, I'll make a video when I go and collect the car, and I'll also do some, you know, my first impressions in the car. There'll be a few videos made on the quad, I'm pretty sure about that. But now, onto the car that I mentioned earlier, which is over in that corner. Okay, so first of all, this car has been sitting in the corner of the workshop under a tarpaulin for a little while, mainly because I haven't been ready to show it to anybody until now. And that's partly because, well, frankly, it's not actually an Alfa Romeo. However, this is a version of the car that I first bought. So it's my first ever car, bought it with my own money. And I bought it in the morning, and in the afternoon, I drove 330 miles down south to start a new life. So it was a very exciting time, and it's got a lot of sentimental value. So this is not exactly the same as the car that I had. This is actually a convertible version. So are you ready to see what it is? Here we go. If you're not sure what it is, that, ladies and gentlemen, is a Lancia Beta Spider. 2 litre twin cam Lampredi designed engine, and basically it has a Targa top, and the rear section is convertible, so it's a soft rear section on a frame, and that drops down so that when the Targa top's off, basically you've got an open top car with a rollover bar, a bit like a Triumph Stag. That's a pretty little car, isn't it? So the old unit is gradually getting emptied. Quite a lot of stuff to find new homes for. Gary's taking one of his cars down already, as you've seen, leaving a bit of space now. That's a Ducati, which has been tucked away for the winter. And the other car that I haven't shown you yet is this one. So this is a 1983 Alfa Romeo Alfetta GTV. That's the 116 series car, and it's a 2 litre Nord engine, which runs. Obviously it needs a little bit of fettling, a little bit of servicing, maybe even do a carburettor rebuild, we'll have to see. The inner wings on this car are actually not too bad at all. And this wing is starting to have a few issues, you might say. Apart from that, the rest of the bodywork isn't bad. Sunroof, which works nicely. It's complete, even down to the original alloy with a spare. One thing that will need looking at is the bottom of the doors, and obviously this needs investigating as well. Wow, the interior is in superb condition. Leather topped later, I think what they used to refer to as the Bell and Colville dash, and it's got its original stereo, which is fantastic. Wooden gear knob, wooden steering wheel. The upholstery is in fantastic condition. It's really unmarked. So what's the deal with this one then? Well, you might remember that I had a 1988 Sprint, which obviously I've liked Sprints since I was very young. Always fancied one, managed to find one, bought it, realised that there was a lot more work needed than I had time to do. So I've just sold that car again, give somebody else a bite of the cherry, see how they get on with it. This one is going to need significantly less work. The interior is all intact, everything seems to work. It's going to need some body work, but really, you know, that's kind of stuff that can be done quite easily, whereas repairing and restoring the interior of the car, window winder mechanisms, you know, all the trim, all that stuff is pretty tricky. So I think, for me, this is a better car for that kind of project. Brum brum, what can I say? Monster 1200S by Ducati. I got this bike last summer, well, the end of the summer actually, and I had quite a few fun trips out on it with some of my local mates. Olin suspension, Brembo brakes, woof woof. The next video that I'm planning to make is going to be a long-term review on the Giulietta that replaced the GT. And obviously the Giulietta is a much more modern car, but what's it like to own one long-term? Because effectively we replaced the GT with it. Is it a better car? I'm not so sure. Anyway, that will be coming up in a few weeks' time, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. So don't forget folks, before I go, if you haven't already, please subscribe, because I am trying to build up the channel this year. And obviously every subscription is a help when it comes to the exposure that the channel gets on YouTube. And hit the little bell icon so every time I drop a video it'll appear in your inbox and you'll be notified. Thanks again. Have a great rest of your February and I'll see you very, very soon. Cheers.